The day my dog sued me. I never thought I'd find myself in court, let alone being sued by my own dog. Yet there I was, sitting at the defendant's table in a courtroom that smelled faintly of peanut butter and wet fur. "Mr. Thompson," said the judge, adjusting her glasses with the weariness of someone who had seen it all and now regretted it. "Your dog Buddy is suing you for emotional distress, neglect of affection, and failure to provide adequate belly rubs." I turned slowly to my right. Buddy sat next to his lawyer, a sharply dressed corgi wearing a tiny vest labeled Emotional Support Council. I couldn't tell if the corgi was real or just part of the absurd dream I was surely having. Buddy, meanwhile, looked me dead in the eye, ears perked, tail still, and eyes full of betrayal. "Your Honor," said Buddy's lawyer, a slim man with a silver tie and the kind of serious expression usually reserved for corporate crime trials, "we have ample evidence that Mr. Thompson has failed in his basic duties as a pet owner. Daily walks have been reduced to bi-weekly shuffles, treats have been downgraded from chicken jerky to generic biscuits, and perhaps most tragically, belly rubs have dropped by 63% since last November." He tapped a tablet. A chart popped up on a large screen showing a dramatic plummet in belly rub frequency, complete with sad puppy icons and downward arrows. "Objection," I muttered, raising my hand weakly. "That graph doesn't even make sense. How are they calculating emotional neglect in pie charts?" "Overruled," said the judge without looking up. Furthermore, the lawyer continued, pacing dramatically, "Mr. Thompson failed to refill the treat jar on 3 separate occasions, despite Buddy pressing the treat button repeatedly." I winced. Look, I'll admit it, I'd been busy. Work had been chaos, I was in the middle of a breakup, and the weather had been horrible. But being sued by my dog? That felt extreme. I stood up, trying to regain some dignity. "Your Honor, with all due respect, Buddy is a dog." Buddy gave a single, offended bark. "A very good dog," I corrected quickly, "but a dog nonetheless. This is ridiculous. He's had a roof over his head, food in his bowl, and yes, occasional belly rubs." "Occasional?" the lawyer gasped. "He deserves unlimited belly rubs on demand." Buddy barked in agreement. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Thompson, are you denying the emotional trauma your negligence may have caused?" "He's a golden retriever," I cried. "His idea of emotional trauma is not getting his favorite squeaky toy before bedtime." There was a collective gasp from the audience. Apparently, the courtroom had filled with dogs in tiny suits and cats in sunglasses, all watching from the gallery with judgmental stares. A dachshund in a bow tie whispered, "Monster," to a nearby pug. Suddenly, a new voice spoke. A booming voice from the back of the courtroom. "Your Honor," it said. "Permission to speak?" The crowd parted. An elderly Labrador wearing a judge's robe and a monocle stepped forward. "This dog," the elder lab said, pointing at Buddy, "deserves justice." The courtroom erupted into barking applause. I slumped back into my chair, defeated. What's the worst that can happen? I whispered to myself. "Court orders you to provide the following," the judge read from her notes. 1 daily 45-minute walk. 3 belly rub sessions per day, minimum. Gourmet meals on Sundays. And full remote control privileges when watching Netflix. Buddy barked twice in triumph, then trotted over and licked my face. I sighed. "I still have to go to work, you know." He barked once. "Okay, fine, work from home twice a week." Buddy gave me a proud tail wag and sauntered out of the courtroom, a winner in the battle of canine justice. And that, dear listener, is how I became the first man to lose a lawsuit to his own dog.